after God's own heart, knew what it meant to hurt. He was a warrior, a poet, a king, but also a man who wrestled with the depths of human emotion. His life was filled with triumphs, but also with trials that brought him to his knees. He knew what it felt like to face deep sorrow and doubt. In Psalm 13, we hear his heartfelt cry, a song born out of pain and confusion. It's not a polished prayer. It's raw, unfiltered, and deeply human. David doesn't hide his anguish. He brings it before God with trembling honesty. David's words are raw, honest, and full of emotion. "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever?" he asks. It's a question many of us have whispered in our own moments of despair, when silence feels louder than any answer. Imagine the weight of his sadness, the feeling of being abandoned, forgotten by God himself, the ache of waiting, of not knowing if relief will ever come. These are not just ancient words, they echo in our modern hearts. Life can feel like a desolate wilderness sometimes. We may face moments when our prayers seem unanswered, our hopes dashed, when the silence stretches on and we wonder if God still sees us, still hears us. It's in these dark valleys that we can relate to David's cry, his desperate plea for God's presence. And in that shared sorrow, we find a strange comfort, knowing we are not alone in our questions, our pain, or our longing for light. Psalm 13 isn't just a lament, it's a conversation with God. David pours out his heart, expressing his doubts and fears. He questions God's presence, his love, his very care for him. "How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and every day have sorrow in my heart?" David cries out. This is the language of despair, the feeling of being overwhelmed by life's burdens. Yet, even in his doubt, David clings to a sliver of hope. He knows he can bring his pain to God. He doesn't shy away from honesty. He embraces vulnerability, pouring out his heart before the Almighty. As Psalm 13 progresses, a shift occurs. David's tone changes from despair to hope, from questioning to affirmation. He chooses to trust, to believe in God's goodness despite his circumstances. "But I trust in your unfailing love," David declares. He reminds himself of God's character, his faithfulness that endures forever. This is the turning point, the moment David chooses faith over fear. This shift isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending everything is okay. It's about choosing to trust in God's love and faithfulness, even when we don't understand our situation. Centuries later, David's words still resonate deeply. His cries, his songs, his raw honesty, they echo through time, reminding us that even the strongest among us can feel broken. We too face moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Times when the world feels too heavy, and the silence around us feels deafening. We experience the pain of loss, the sting of betrayal, and the ache of dreams that never came true. And yeah, the crushing weight of loneliness, when it feels like no one sees you, no one hears you. Think of a time when you felt alone, when the night seemed endless and hope felt like a distant memory, forgotten or just completely overwhelmed. Like the world kept moving and you were stuck in place. Maybe you were facing a health crisis, a job loss, or a future that suddenly looked nothing like you imagined. Or even the breakdown of a relationship, when love turns to silence and connection fades into distance. In those moments, did you cry out to God like David did? Did you whisper a prayer into the darkness, hoping someone was listening? Remember those who are struggling today. They may not say it, but they're carrying burdens too heavy to bear alone. Reach out to them with compassion and love. A kind word, a gentle presence. It can mean more than you know. Remind them that even in the darkest night when all seems lost, there is still light breaking through. God's love is a beacon of hope, steady, unwavering, and always reaching for us. Psalm 13 reminds us that even when we walk through valleys of darkness, we are never alone. In moments when the silence feels overwhelming and the path ahead is unclear, God walks beside us. His presence is not always loud or obvious, but it is steady, like a quiet whisper in the wind or the warmth of sunlight breaking through the clouds. God's love for us is unwavering. His faithfulness is a constant source of strength. When we feel forgotten or weighed down by life's burdens, His love lifts us. It reminds us that we are seen, known, and cherished beyond measure. Like David, we can choose to trust in Him, to find hope in the midst of despair. Trust is not the absence of fear, but the decision to believe in something greater than our pain. It is the courage to keep going, even when the road is rough. Hold on to the truth that God sees you, hears you, and loves you deeply. His love is not earned. It is freely given, constant and unshakable even when we feel unworthy. His love is a light that shines brightest in the darkest of times. It guides us, comforts us, and reminds us that no night lasts forever. So, when shadows fall and doubts creep in, remember the words of David, "I will sing to the Lord, for He has been good to me." Let that song rise from your heart, even in the silence. Let this be our anthem, our declaration of faith in a love that never fades, a love that holds us, heals us, and carries us through every season of